This video is sponsored by Card Kingdom. You can find all the cards in this video in their store by using the links in the description below. Hello everyone, doing another draft video here for the channel. This is a pretty good one of these breaking news cards. It's just like a good removal spell with upside. I think it's probably better than Hell to Pay. I mean, Hell to Pay is pretty good too. You know, it's removal that scales. The only thing, you know, it's kind of clunky, and getting treasure doesn't matter that much in limited, like, at the part of the game when you get it. So, yeah. Not a great pack overall, really. You know, good Signpost uncommon. It's a pretty good common here, and Nizumi Link Breaker. I like Geyser Drake. I think it's a good common. Other than that, the cards in this pack aren't commons I'm a huge fan of. I mean, the Naturalist is okay. I feel like the Felidar is probably too slow, even though its saddle trigger is big. I think we take Defiance. The only thing about it is, like, if you take Hell to Pay, it's more likely you can splash it or whatever, but I think Collective Defiance is probably just the best card in this pack. Okay. Well, I like Cunning Coyote a lot. I also like Shepherd of the Clouds, Marauding Sphinx to a lesser extent. You know, the Lackey and the Salvo are good too. Jolene's been a better Signpost than I expected. You know, it's a small sample size, but most of the time when I've seen her played, that activated ability actually matters. I'd probably take the Coyote in the end. Just, you know, I think it's probably, you know, it's a 2-drop. Those matter so much in limited these days. These other things aren't. And it's also just really strong. So, and we already got one red card, which doesn't hurt in the, you know, calculating what we should take there. All right, we have another really good red, one of these breaking news cards. I think it's better than Thunder Salvo or Quick Draw, and I think it's probably what we take. You know, it's Sorcery Speed Lightning Bolt a lot of the time, and even when it's not, it's pretty good. Guess we're going to play red. I guess this would be, if we do stick with red, I think all 3 draft videos on the channel so far have been red, haven't they? They haven't, the first 2 at least, weren't the same red color combination. We'll see if where this one goes. But I'm just taking, you know, these are the cards that were being given. I do like Phantom Interference. The Arinx is a really good 2-drop, but, you know, Skewer is just real good. Yeah. Can we build an all, that would be a fun stipulation draft. Just take every single one of these that you see. Okay. Well, there's 2 pretty good green cards here. I think Raucous Entertainer and Thrown from the Saddle are both really good. This is obviously even better in green-white, but it works okay in green-red. The Varmint's nice, too. We don't want the Charger, I don't think. I think there are cards in this pack that are markedly better. Like, I think Vault Plunderer is probably better, too. Yeah, I mean, I'm leaning Entertainer, I think. It's just such a good 2-drop, and getting those counters really matters. If you combine it with Plot, you can end up really enhancing your board. I mean, I think it's better than the Plunderer. If I didn't already have 2 good removal spells, Throw from the Saddle might move up a little bit for me, but yeah, this is not a good rare. Don't play it. Has a cool effect, especially in, like, Commander, but it just doesn't do enough otherwise. Okay, so we've got, you know, another one of these. I think you kind of need discard to really have this move the needle. And there is that 2-drop that you discard and then draw a card when it enters the battlefield. But we do have some good fixing in Mirage Mesa. I have played with this, and it's either, like, amazing, because you get, like, a 3-for-1, or it's a dead card in your hand. And it's always hard to evaluate that kind of card. I've had games where I just can't cast it, and then I've had games where I had somebody cast Abrupt Decay, like, on my Oblivion Ring, and I, like, redirected it at both of their creatures, and that was just, like, the craziest play ever. I think we go Bristleback here. It's been a really good 2-drop in my experience, and in red-green especially, it's not that hard to make it grow. Okay, so interesting choice here. Lila, Undefeated Slickshot. There aren't that many multicolored instants or sorceries for her to go completely insane, but 3-mana 3/3 Prowess is just good, and if you have, like, 1 or 2 of those, you know, you get to rebound them. Is it rebound? No, it gets plotted, of course, because this set is plot. You get it again, is the point. I'm probably supposed to take Prickly Pear, though. Like, I think on average it's just as good as Lila is. I haven't been that impressed with this so far, even in the red-green deck. Like, it's fine. Sometimes you spend 2 and you get like a 4/4 on turn 4. But it's not... It hasn't been that exciting. I think we take Ankle Biter. Yeah. Desert Stew is not bad. I haven't really seen a slow deck work super well in this format so far. You know, I've been really highly valuing low drops and stuff because that's just how every format's been. So it could be my own experience at this point. But if there's a slow deck, this would be pretty sweet. We'll just take the 1-drop with Death Touch, though. I like Pylons. Take for a Ride is kind of interesting. You know, if you can commit a crime ahead of it, it's particularly insane. But it's not that easy to set up. I think we probably take Pylons for the fixing. Maybe it powers up a Cack Tarantula or something. Pulverizer's okay, but I think I like fixing a little bit more. Trick Shot's not bad. I think Wanted Griffin is probably the best card in this pack. But I'm probably just going to take the card that's, you know, red seems open enough. Trick Shot's not great, but the Griffin's not either, you know, so. So, okay. Well, red's definitely open. I guess this is why I keep ending up in red, because you're getting pick 10 Reckless Lackeys and Thunder Salvos. I think the Lackey's probably a little better than the Salvo. You know, there was a time where removal like this would always come before, well, especially because 1-drops used to not be very good in Limited. But now it's like, I don't think so. Well, I've played a lot of Snakeskin Veils on YouTube, I feel like, too. But we're going to be playing some more of them here because it's a pretty good trick. Sterling Supplier is nice, but I don't think we're playing white. Get a Razzle Dazzler. I guess blue might even be more open. Ooh. So this thing's really good. Like, it really isn't that hard to... Well, you plot it, first of all. So you end up netting a mana, which is kind of crazy. And then it's not that hard to also play something with 4 or more power in the same turn and then draw a card. So I do like the Armadillo. I like Irascible Wolverine. I like Sentries, but, you know, it's the rare here. I mean, this is just really good. It does what, you know, red-green's supposed to be about power 4 or greater too, and that's obviously what it is about as well. Raucous Entertainer, number 2, is probably the pick here. I like it more than Ankle Biter or Quill Charger. We may want to value 4 power things a little bit more, because right now I don't think we actually have that many, but the Entertainer's pretty good. And this is one that checks for 4 power when it enters, so it's not like the Bristlepack Sentry, which just cares if something has 4 at some point, you know? So you know, the 3-mana 4/2s and stuff, maybe I should value a little bit more. You know, I haven't played with this yet. Obviously, it has a really high ceiling where it, like, kills 2 things, but it also costs 6 mana, so probably just going to take a Varmint here, you know, decent utility creature, costs 2. Kind of a decent shot that this wheels. Outlaw Stitcher is really, really good, and we do have some fixing, but, you know, it's probably worth a splash, I guess, but you probably need more in the way of plot than we're going to have to really use him. But if this were pack 1, pick 1, I would take the Stitcher over everything else here. Okay. Well, there's a Cack Tarantula. I mentioned that. Requisition rate's pretty good. Another Outlaw Stitcher. Somebody's drafting blue. They're going to be pretty happy about that. I like the Link Breaker, like I said. I would probably take a Cack Tarantula. It's a high-power creature, so that's good. We probably want, like, 1 more Desert to feel really happy about it, but yeah, I've been reasonably happy with the card overall. I like it more than Quill Charger. And I like most of the mounts, but that one has been kind of medium. Probably just another Varmint. It is. We are seeing some more signs that blue's pretty open. I think Phantom Interference and Geyser Drake, not to mention those 2 Stitcher guys. Those are good blue cards to still be hanging out. Okay, so here's another Desert. I do like Ankle Biter. Don't like Quill Charger as much. I think I'd probably grab a Desert. They just open up you know, making your mana better is a very real thing. This will definitely do that. As much as I like Ankle Biter. So here's the discard card I was talking about. Oh my god, is this a third Outlaw Stitcher? Am I going to take this one? I might. I mean, it's getting kind of ridiculous, and it's pretty good. More than pretty good. Right now, we don't have good enough fixing to play it, but we still have a pack and a half left, and I do have a Conduit Pylon, so it's not impossible. And I think Mind Raider and Peddler are fine, but this is just... it's just too good. I can't pass a third one. It's not possible. I can't force myself to do it. I mean, I probably would have if I had 0 fixing, but I have more than 0 fixing. So this does fix, but I think it's a little too slow to be super exciting. A couple of pretty good white cards here still late. We will take Ankle Biter number 2. I do like them more when I have more fight stuff or bite stuff, and right now we don't actually have any. And it is a small creature, but I think it's what I'm going to take over Pulverizer. I would love to just get like a random green-blue desert or red-blue desert here. Well, a blue-black desert doesn't quite do what I want it to. I mean, if I ended up with a ton of mana, I could think about splashing Ionize, but you don't really want to splash counter magic. I guess I'll grab Reach for the Sky. I don't think it makes the cut, though. I hope it doesn't. Playable cards here for other people. You know, green seemed really open, but not so much in this pack. Hopefully for pack 3 it opens back up again. Yeah, I mean, there's a non-zero chance I play this. It does fix. This can too to some extent. Yeah, blue's very open. Certainly from this side. I mean, it looked like it was pretty open at the end of the last pack. Maybe I should have shifted at some point, but we are where we are. Okay, we've got a throw from the saddle, which I think is pretty good, especially when you've got a couple Ankle Biters. We don't have any mounts, but that's okay. This is not a desert that helps us. Another Betrayal at the vault. Lackey's okay. I like Scorching Shot. Maybe I should just take it Overthrow from the saddle. I mean, yeah, probably. Probably do. It's a pretty good removal spell. Kills almost everything for 2 mana. Yeah, we don't have as much plot as you would have in like a blue-red deck, but we have some. And you really only need to play one other spell, and setting that up isn't that hard. Like, it doesn't matter which order you do it in, whether you plot this or you plotted something else and then you play this, like, you're going to get a 4/4 and a 1/4. Probably should have just taken all those Outlaw Stitchers. And gone after fixing. Maybe we'd be blue... we'd be blue something. So, this is the land that I want. What else do we have here? Nothing that great. I like the Burrow Fiend okay. Definitely better, you know, if you've got a lot of mount stuff going on or if you're in black-green. But it's... I've been pretty impressed with it overall. Like, you play it on 2, and then on turn 3 you play something that can saddle it, and then it attacks as like a 3/3 frequently, sometimes a 4/4, and it just kind of snowballs. But I think we take a desert over it. Yeah. We have reasons. We have reasons for the desert. None of this other blue stuff is worth splashing. I mean, I like Phantom Interference, but I don't think you splash it. Another Reckless Lackey. One Last Job is pretty sweet, but obviously not so much for us. This is a good trick, and we are kind of short on them. And it is fixing, too, I guess. Yeah, okay. Let's do it. Probably don't need to run Oasis Gardener anymore. Like, I think I'd rather have Silver Deputy than Oasis Gardener. Well, here's another Snakeskin Veil. Also a throw from the saddle. I haven't gotten a chance to play with or against this yet. It has some interesting applications in the format because of plot. But I think it's probably going to be worse than these two cards, which are good in like every green deck, you know. Yeah, I think we'll go with Throw from the Saddle now. We've passed enough of them. Could take one here. How many Outlaws do we have? We're not like amazing at going wide, but we're not terrible at it either. There really should be an Outlaw category here. So we've got 2 Mercenaries. That's pretty much it. We have a few cards that make them, but yeah. This is one of the few cards you can use with that Lila. Not that we took her, but... Alright, we'll take a Rodeo Pyromancers, I guess. Another desert that we wanted. I don't really think we need another one that desperately, though, given our mana situation. I think we'll take a Pulverizer. Like, we need some 4s, 4 power things, to make Outcaster Trailblazer better, and to make some of our other cards better, too. So I think we'll take a Pulverizer now. Okay, Drover Grizzly's kind of what the doctor ordered. I do like Trash the Town, but it is still a trick, like, even though it has a really high ceiling, and we need 4 power things. This is a cheap one. I like Free Strider Commando too, but I think Drover Grizzly's probably a little better. Don't want Map the Frontier. There's a Quilled Charger that does have 4 power. Yeah, that's where we'll go. Well, okay. Tumbleweed Rising, I guess. It's not going to be bad in our deck. I guess Patient Naturalist works okay. We can mill one of our fixing lands and then get a treasure. We've got enough removal, I think. Don't think we're going to get any cards we actually want the rest of the way. Nope. That bounce spell's going pretty late. I wonder if it plays worse in this format for some reason. There are a lot of good tricks, and usually in those kinds of formats they work out okay, but I've seen it go late a lot. Okay. So... we probably don't need Silver Deputy. Mercenaries are nice with Bristlepack Sentry, but don't really think we needed that. Are we going to do that much with Rodeo Pyromancers? Probably not. Our Trailblazer fixes too. Yeah, I don't want Reach for the Sky. So we've got a couple more cards to cut here. I wonder whether I even want to run a basic island. I kind of don't think so. Outlaw Stitcher is it, and we've got these 2 blue sources, plus the Naturalist, plus Gold Rush, plus Trailblazer, so... we probably don't need to run a basic island. A land that only produces blue seems like it'll hurt our mana base a little too much. Still leaves us, that means we have 9 red sources, so that gives us, yeah, 10 green, and green is more plentiful in the early game, so I think that makes sense. Do we need Trick Shot? I mean, we've got Scorching Shot and a few other... our Collective Defiance, Skewer the Critics. Probably not really. It's a little bit clunky. We do have a low enough curve that just double spelling for some of these cards is pretty doable. The Lackey gives us treasure too, so yeah, we really don't need an island in the mix. So what's our last cut here? mean, Tumbleweed Rising seems fine. I mean, it's going to be 3 mana for a 4/4 or whatever, or 2 mana for a 2/2, stuff like that. Nothing insane. I mean, obviously, if Cactarantula's in play, or if one of these has been buffed, then things can get kind of silly, but maybe it is just what I'm supposed to cut, though. Yeah. It's not amazing in our deck, that's for sure. Yeah, let's go with that. I could cut a Varmint, I guess. It's also not anything super special. But, you know, having main deck Artifact Enchantment hit can be pretty nice. Hit those Oblivion Ring effects, you know. Alright, this deck looks pretty good. I'm not, like, over the moon about it. I think blue was probably a better choice than red in retrospect. I got a little, you know, focused on red, but with those 3 Outlaw Stitchers tell me I should have done something different. And we did pick up 1, and we're going to play it. So, but having 3 would be a lot better. So I realized that not all my draft videos have been read so far. So that's good. Feel a little better about that. Just 2 out of 3 if we count this one. Yeah, pretty good hand. You know, not automatically having the mana for the Stitcher isn't awesome, but maybe the Naturalist gets us there. So, turn 2 Varmint's fine. Anytime I draw Raucous Entertainer, I start thinking, is it better to play it first and then play Varmint and put a counter on it next turn? And the answer might be yes. And then the turn after that, Prickly Pear, put a counter on both of them. Seems pretty good. I mean, I think that's what we go for. The question is whether it's better to just sink all the mana into the spell I would cast anyway, or, you know, whether it's better to do otherwise. Okay, well, I think that changes things. I think we want to play the Canyon now, attack for 2, and then just play the Varmint normally. Yeah. And then next turn we can do Prickly Pear, put a counter on both, or whatever. So we have the mana we need now. It does take 5 to plot, and we don't really want to cast it if we're not making the creature big enough. Yeah, that's a little bit annoying. Lots of options here. Just playing the Grizzly and putting a counter on it honestly doesn't seem bad. I mean, a 5/3 is, like, pretty legit. It's probably a little better than getting a 3/3 and a 2/2. No, it's not. No, it is not. Our Outlaw Stitcher. Right, double Geyser Drake, huh? Would be nice to have a trick or removal, but I mean, playing Outlaw Stitcher and getting a 2/5 and a 3/3 honestly isn't too bad. We're gonna do some stuff first, though. Attack with both of these. They have double block Prickly Pear, that's fine. They can cast Instants right now, you know, for 2 less mana. So, you know, like Repulse is possible here because they have 2 Geyser Drakes in play, which is kind of nuts. But they're not going to be able to repulse both of them. And obviously they would repulse the Varmint if that's what they have. Alright, so they didn't have anything to take advantage of that, which is nice. Is Stitcher better here than playing Drover Grizzly? I mean, I can also just... I'm probably just supposed to plot this, because if I draw the mana next turn, I can play both of these and Outlaw Stitcher, which is kind of nuts. Yeah, let's do it. And even if I don't, it's still like an amazing play next turn where I play one of these, Outlaw Stitcher, and put a counter on everything. So I think I'm down with it. Okay. Well, we're not going to get to do all of it. Although... Huh. I do have Snakeskin Veil here, which if they block, I can cast, then I can play the Grizzly and then get a huge zombie here. Seems pretty good. Let's go ahead and buff our Varmint first. Attack with it. Alright. I don't think we burn Snakeskin Veil here. It's just too good, I think. So, let us play Drover Grizzly. I might counter it, I guess. I still cast a spell, at least. So, if they do counter it, I could still play Outlaw Stitcher here. Yeah, if they're going to counter something, it's probably going to be Outlaw Stitcher. So, okay. Then we do this. Our board's suddenly super insane. And we end our turn. Should have just taken all those Outlaw Stitchers in the draft and jumped into blue. Okay, well, it's scary for sure. However, I think we might be okay. Ooh, that's kind of a problem. I can at least use Snakeskin Veil to dodge the removal, though. It might be hard for me to do lethal here, though. Don't love that part. Because, like, yeah, they did just add so much to the board. They've got 3 blockers. I can give trampled everything, but it's not that impressive on most of our creatures. Freaking Terror of the Peaks, man. It's not very many cards that could find them in a spot where they're not completely out of luck after the turn we had, but that is one of them. Okay. Well, I think we're just supposed to cast out Caster Trailblazer here. Yeah. I'm casting it now so that I can easily saddle this, although maybe I'm just supposed to use something else for that. They could have cheap bounce, which would be really bad. They can bounce for 1 blue right now with Geyser Drake in play. All right, I'm okay with that. I think we go ahead and pay. Probably just activate this with the mana. Yeah. Am I really going to attack with everything? I mean, I might. Kind of seems worth doing, because they have to block the 6 and the 5. And everything else is kind of expendable. The problem is, with Terror of the Peaks in play, things are a little less expendable, but we're just going to do so much damage here that I think it's what we're supposed to do. That is lethal because of trample, so you can't stop there. Right, we drop them to 1. Like I said, Terror of the Peaks is the kind of card that could get them out of this. Because they play a creature, they kill something. Yeah, that's what's going to happen here. Play a creature and they kill something. Maybe I was just supposed to attack with the smaller things, but I feel like dropping them to 1. You know, we have another desert that can just end the game, for example. Seems pretty good. We still have a 5-3 and a 5-5, too. So, hopefully they don't play a creature big enough to kill one of those. No, they don't. So we still have 2 good attacks here. Okay, well, there you go. You gotta... That's an achievement unlocked in this format. Finish somebody off with the desert. We weren't guaranteed to win, because I was just going to throw our 2 5s at them, and yeah, they'd have to block, but then they'd still have Terror of the Peaks, which could always pull them out of it, but that ended up working pretty nicely. We also had a couple of direct damage cards in our deck, between Skewer the Critics and Collective Defiance, so we had several cards that could just end the game on the spot. So it's still kind of funny to draw the desert right after I said that, but, you know. Okay. Looks pretty good. Pretty good. Have our blue mana up front. Opponent starts at 19, more or less. Probably going to plot this time. We'll see, though. Depends on... Whoop. Don't want to play the wrong land here. It depends a little bit on what they do, because if having a 4-2, like if they don't play something that can block a 4-2, and even if they do, I have Scorching Shot. What did they... You know, do I want to play Varmint plus Lackey, or do I just want to play a 4-2 plus the Lackey? That seems really good, honestly. Yeah, so we're just going to play this the normal way. Cash in the mana right away to play Reckless Lackey. And we have 2 removal spells to back up our 7 damage on the table. Like, you know, if they just try to play creatures here, there's a good chance they just lose, which is kind of crazy this early, but that is what our board looks like. Yeah, they do get to do that. Can't imagine they sack a land. They sacked a black... Discarded a black card. Guess that means they're looking for black mana. Aw, they are going to kill it. That's okay. I mean, we're still in a good spot. It's not quite as good as it was, but it's pretty good. I think it's entertainer time. Man. Oh, I was going to say... That one works out pretty well for him. I was going to say, not adding to the board here is pretty brutal for him, but subtracting from mine works. I think we're supposed to play our Naturalist here. We will grab that mountain and play it. That means we can now collect a Defiance, kill a thing, do 3 to them, which is like... potentially lethal. They're probably going to play 2 creatures, though. Or kill one of ours or something. Yeah, that gives them a treasure. They're suddenly doing a whole bunch. I don't love it. Okay. I'm leaning towards Collected Defiance to kill this and do 3 to them. And then just attack with both our 2 power things. They might have something, because they have 2 mana, but that seems pretty good nonetheless. I mean, I could Scorching Shot instead and hold on to this for later, but Shot kills bigger things. If I do that, I can also play another creature, which certainly matters. But I think try and kill this, drop them to 7, attack with 2 power things is pretty darn good. So I think that's what we'll do here. We're going to do 4 damage, target creature, 3 damage, target opponent or planeswalker. See if they have a thing. They still go to 7 even if they have a thing, so it's not like I get completely blanked. So there's that. Okay. That works pretty nicely. And then, yeah, send in our 2 things that have 2 power. Do they go to 3? That'd be cool. Kind of think they have to block. I mean, that's what I would do anyway. Like, trading off does have a real impact here, so... Yeah, that's bad. So they get a meteorite, they kill our Reckless Lackey. Luckily we can kill her and drop him to 3, but obviously, she already gave him a bunch of value, which is never where you want to be. So we attack him down to 3, then play our 4-2. Skewer the critics will kill them. It's somewhere. Somewhere in our deck. I mean, last time I said if I draw a desert, I win. It worked out. So, you know, maybe we'll draw a skewer after I say it this time. That'd be cool. You have a bunch of mana and a bunch of cards, but they're low enough on life that I feel okay about things. Ooh. That's not so good, though, because it can gain them life, which is not great for our deck. It is small, but if they commit a crime, they're probably going to kill something. Yeah, and add a body to the board in this case. Oh, no, they didn't have the mana to do it, at least. Ooh. So if they just take this, they're dead, so that works. I can live with it. That was a good draw. I mean, it wasn't Skewer the Critics, but it was exactly what I needed for lethal. I mean, I think if I were them, I would block there. I mean, they just have so many more resources than me that... I mean, they may have felt like they need to gain life or they're going to die, I guess. So they had to keep the Crow, but there were like... I don't know, 6 tricks in the format that killed them there with the amount of mana I had. So I think I would have been inclined to block and cross my fingers. And there's not a really good cheap trample trick in the format either. I think Trash the Town or whatever adds trample, but not that efficiently, and it's an uncommon, so I wouldn't have been too worried about it. Wow, all 1-drops. I mean, I think we keep it. But we'll see how things go. Having a bunch of 1s does work pretty nicely with that 3-mana 4-2 that gives us a mana. All right, I think I've drawn enough lands now, please. That's enough. We don't really need more. I mean, I guess we need blue at some point, potentially, but, you know. Okay. It is a bummer we can't leave up our Veil here, but I think it's fine. It's going to be kind of sad if they kill Reckless Lackey here. I mean, it's kind of sad if they kill either of them. They don't. And we're left with a pretty good attack. I mean, if they block, I use Snakeskin Veil, and then I have a 2-3 first strike. And then if they don't, I play Patient Naturalist, obviously. They probably okay, well. Yeah, I feel fine about doing it. Uh-oh. That is a very hard card to beat. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Yeah, they get a free token every upkeep, and you know, the only saving grace about the card is that it doesn't add to the board the turn they play it, but they're at 18, so I'm not sure how much of a saving grace that actually is. One of them can even ping our poor ankle biter. Yeah, and that's the one that can do it, unfortunately. I remember I played this card once, and I got, like, the same token, like, 7 times in a row. Someone on stream did the math, the chances of that happening back in the set that it's from, and it was, like, basically 0. Somehow it happened. Yeah. I kind of think we attack with both. We're not really in a great spot where we can just be like, yeah, let's make our patient naturalist bigger. We just need to lower their life total as quickly as possible. So I think we attack with both here. If they have something that can really mess us up, Gold Rush can help us, potentially. Yeah, they take 4. That works for me, I think. Drop them to 11. Now we play our naturalist. Just mill all lands. That would be okay. Land. Alright, we milled 2 lands. I'll take it. I really didn't want more of them, so... Yeah. So, what do you kill here? Our poor lackey? Yep. The lifelink one's not great news for us. Do we have a way in our deck to blow up Outlaws Merriment? Oh, we do! Our freaking Voracious Varmint that we milled. I do have one more of them somewhere, but I'm a little less than enthused that that's what I milled. I mean, you know. Sometimes people will look at that and be like, well, that's how you know mill is bad, but it's always good to remember it's random. It was just as likely that it helps me draw our Voracious Varmint. You can't get too hung up on what the results are. Ooh. Well, what am I supposed to do here? That is the question. Lose? I think lose is the main answer to that question. Alright, so let's attack with the Naturalist. See what happens there. I wonder if Entertainer probably made more sense to attack with in retrospect. Because this is a better blocker. Yeah. Can't block the 2-1 lifelink, for example. If they block us with 2 tokens and I use Gold Rush, I don't hate that. The question is, like, we basically lose the game here if they have a response, but we need to set them back on Outlaws Merriment anyway, or they're going to run us over. We need to try and draw our other Voracious Varmint, basically, so I think we're supposed to go for it. Yeah, don't hate it. You know, I really wish they would just get the 3-1. When are they just going to get the 3-1? Because now they can give this lifelink and attack us. I mean, give it +1/+0 and attack us and gain back 3. Yeah. Can you just get a vanilla 3-1, please? Okay, pretty good, pretty good. Not really worth an attack now. I feel like I've done that a lot in this format already. Prickly Pear with Raucous Entertainer. Luckily, that can't kill anything outright. Yeah, they'll just do the 1 to me. I probably trade my token for this. Yeah. I'm not feeling very merry about Outlaws Merriment right now. Take that. Yeah. Not really any real attacks here. That Griffin's gonna kill us while the Outlaws Merriment tokens slowly lock us out of the game. I mean, we're pretty much already locked out of the game. Even if we draw a Varmint now, I'm not sure we can find our way out of this. It's possible. I need a Varmint and removal for Wanted Griffin, basically. Oh, good. Now they have a Seraphic Steed, too, who they can very easily saddle. Raucous Entertainer number 2. Yeah, drop us to 6. I think we might just be dead on an Alpha Strike, huh? This hits us. We can only block 3. Yeah, we're pretty much dead in an Alpha Strike. Tough to beat Outlaws Merriment, just as it was back in... What was it? Was it Guilds? Was it one of the Ravnica sets, or was it an Innistrad set? Or neither. You know, I don't really remember. Well, they're not Alpha Striking now, but they have, like, a ridiculous attack that's going to make an Angel, so... yeah. That's not great for us. It's so bad here if I double block and it doesn't work. But what else am I supposed to do? I guess I don't have to do it that way. Yeah. I'm still dead even if the double block works, frankly, but it's not like I have a sweeper or something. I guess I'll just scoop if they break up our double block, though. Might just scoop anyway if they're going to take this long to do things. Maybe they're worried I have Snakeskin Veil or something, but it's like, even if you do... Oh, okay. Yeah. Let's see what we draw, just for fun, but obviously that seals the deal, if it didn't already. Land. Yeah, we got run over there by Outlaws Merriment. There's a world where I draw Voracious Varmint and maybe eke out a win there, but still would have already given them, like, 2 tokens, and, yeah, I mean, would have killed our Death Toucher, and they would have played Seraphic Steed eventually, and, you know. Probably still not a great chance. That's what makes Merriment so good, though, is, like, usually even if you do remove it, it's giving you so much that it doesn't really matter. Okay, this looks pretty good. Turn 2 Varmint sounds... I think we've done that almost... We've done that many games, at least. Alright. Yeah, that sounds pretty good to me. I mean, I do need more lands at some point. That is definitely true in a hand where I have Outlaw Stitcher and Iron Fist Pulverizer. But I don't even miss a land drop if I draw this next turn, so I think it's okay. Archmage's Newt. 2/2 Vigilance plays so well in, like, the early game, where you can just attack into their 2/2 and they're like, God, it can also block. That's annoying. Probably use the Veil here to punch through if they block, and they don't. I don't think we use Skewer here. It just doesn't seem necessary. I think we just play Ankle Biter. Leave up our Veil. I think I want to hold on to Skewer to remove something that's a little scarier. Wow, we're looking... I guess one's a Salamander and one's a Frog. Okay. See, we didn't miss a land drop. Now, if they block, it's not nearly as good of news for us because Snakeskin Veil doesn't save them both. So maybe I want to cast... Do I want to cast Skewer here? I mean, if I use Snakeskin Veil, it's a 2 for 2, which isn't like a disaster. But it sort of feels like I'm just supposed to not attack. I wish the double block didn't stink so much here. Yeah. Yeah, doesn't seem like a worthwhile attack. Kind of stinks to not really use our mana, but again, I don't really think I want to skewer there. Loan Shark. See what they do here. Nothing. Yeah. Okay. That works out nicely. So let's throw from the saddle. Do I just want to skewer here if they take this? I think maybe I do. Doesn't mean I don't have Snakeskin Veil up, but that's not like a disaster. Maybe. Probably. I can't imagine they want to block here. Clearing out their board is certainly nice ahead of, like, Loan Shark plus something else. Yeah, I guess we're gonna do it. Gross. Yeah. This is what plot can do. You know, you have a turn where you don't do anything, but then you do a whole bunch. I really wish I could play my Pulverizer here and leave up Veil, but, you know, you can't have it all. We'll just play the Pulverizer. We might be in some trouble here, though. We're definitely in some trouble here. Might lose to another bomb. No shame in that, I guess. Ooh, tapping my Pulverizer. They even get to Surveil when they do it. It's pretty gross. It is pretty gross. Attack us for 3. I guess I don't really want to attack with Loan Shark. Okay. We're in a weird spot here. I probably just cast Outlaw Stitcher, as unexciting as it is. I mean, it does enough here, the 1/4 and 2/2, that it's probably what I have to do. If I had a spell in my hand that wasn't situational like the Veil, I'd probably hold on to it, but I don't. So I think we just play it out. I don't know. It doesn't actually do much to improve our board, the more I think about it. The only thing is I can leave up Snakeskin Veil if I do that, and I can't if I plot it. So I think that's that combined with not having... Like, if I draw a land next turn, it's going to really hurt to... play that in any other way. Like it would not be good. And... I think building out our board's okay. And I think leaving up Snakeskin Veil could be really, really important. So, did they forget about Reach, do you think? Well, What do I block? I can kill Harrier Sticks outright. I guess that's probably the answer. I have Veil up if they do something crazy here. But... yeah. I kind of think they forgot about Reach. Wow, they have double Archmage's Newt. And 2 Spring Splashers. They like amphibians, I guess. Aha! I guess I should let their Surveil trigger happen first, give them less information. So let's let them Surveil. Then we'll cast Snakeskin Veil. Which also suddenly makes it big enough to rumble with all these things. So that's pretty nice. That is not. Yeah, I mean, we really don't have attacks. We're in defensive mode here. We gotta wait to draw something awesome. Basically. Their creatures are just too big, man. Just too big. Pulverizers are only decent attack, and I can't really afford to attack with it. So, it's not really a decent attack. Damn it. They're probably going to have to burn 2 spells, but they're going to take it down here. Which means they smash in for 8. Yep. And we're dead. Let's drop him to 13 first, though. Well, the first 2 games went pretty well. The next 2, not so much. Yeah. Deck's not awesome, I don't think. Not terrible, but I don't think a 2-3 or a 3-3 would be a, like, shocking outcome here. Looks pretty good. We don't have double red. We have 2 cards that require it, and we have a 5-drop, but, you know, we're likely to either draw the other mountain we need or more creatures that we, or things that we can play with the mana we do have, so... It's not like our whole deck is double red. See, we drew something we can play. Of course, if they can kill our Raucous Entertainer, it's not going to feel so good. This is a nice 2-drop, man. Reminds me a lot of the, like, 2-mana First Strike Exert guy in Amonkhet, where it's just... usually impossible to block on turn 2, and often very hard to block later in the game, too. It does only have 1 toughness, which comes up sometimes, but it doesn't come up a lot. We do have our 2nd red, which is nice. I think we probably throw Trained Earrings from the saddle here and attack for 3. This format doesn't have a ton of, like, incidental ping, I don't feel like. You know, that's often what has hurt X1s lately. Like, in one of the Innistrad sets, you had, like, the flick a coin and the rat thing, too. The -1/-1 that makes a 1/1 rat. Like, it basically made it so 1/1s were unplayable, which is not really awesome. But that's kind of X1s. I shouldn't say 1/1s. You had to get some kind of value out of them or they weren't worth playing, basically. So I think playing Prickly Pear and buffing everything is better than attacking here. We'll go to combat first to see if anything happens, I guess. I mean, if they have removal that they decide to use at the beginning of combat anyway, and they don't, they would have used it in response to Prickly Pear, so... I guess there is more of a chance I get in for 2 maybe, and then they kill it, but... Oh, that's annoying. Well, that's no fun. Definitely should have gotten in for 2 if, you know, I'd known. If I'd had all the info, that's what I would have done. Is it worth a trade when my opponent has that much mana up? Hard to say it is. I think we just take it. If they were tapped out, I think I'd try and trade, given how low our life is getting, but with 3 mana up, that... and, like, countless tricks available to them, I don't think so. Wow. Looking kind of rough here. Okay, okay. Do have a bunch of removal. Could play a big creature, but if they have more removal, that's real bad for us. I think maybe I'm supposed to kill something and play Prickly Pear and buff them here. I probably need to kill Prairie Dog. It can get out of hand in a hurry. I mean, Sterling Keykeeper, also a pretty big problem for us, but it takes enough of an investment that I think I'm okay with it. So yeah, let's play our Prickly Pear. These do more damage, so I think I may just play full price for Skewer here. I guess if I Scorching Shot, I can also buff both of these, in which case... yeah, that's probably what I'm supposed to do, I guess. Gosh, maybe I do need to kill the Keykeeper. I have time to kill Prairie Dog later, but if they tap stuff here... yeah, let's kill the Keykeeper. Like, if they spend their turn buffing Prairie Dog, I think we're okay with it. You know? So... and this way I add bodies to the board in addition, which I think I kind of needed to do, or these, the 2-2 and 2-1 would be able to attack us a lot more effectively against just our Raucous Entertainer, so... they don't have to spend 5 is the thing. Like, yeah, they can just decide to do it that way, which I don't love. Well, I think what I'm going to do here is buff our Prickly Pear and attack. And we'll see what happens. Clearly they have some kind of interaction that was worth passing the turn. Interaction they're considering if they want to use right now, it would seem. Alright, so let's attack with Prickly Pear. They just take 4, huh? I don't love that. However, I think I just have to live with it. Trying to fire off Skewer the Critics on Prairie Dog would go very badly. There's a better chance Collective Defiance doesn't, but Take Up the Shield and all that stuff is... brutal here, so I think I just have to play my big boy. I think that's the plan. Yeah. I can blow that up with my Varmint, so that's nice. Yeah, I kind of have to trade, or try to at least. God, I don't know what they have, but it is concerning. Alright, so I think we play Varmint. Am I supposed to attack for 5 here? My life is pretty low, but... being able to Skewer the Interrupter for 1 is an intriguing possibility. So, it's not like either of these are good blockers right now, either. Yeah, alright, let's attack with both of them. And then we skewer... Do I try to collect a Defiance Prairie Dog? This just seems so likely that that's going to go wrong. So I think skewering the Aven and playing the Varmint might be our best bet. Yeah. Take up the shield or the... okay. Alright. Well, let's play our Varmint. So the bad news is this is going to be out of range of Collective Defiance if they don't do anything again. And that is really bad news. So, okay. Maybe I played too scared this game, and I should have just gone for it and tried to kill the Prairie Dog instead of assuming they have to take up the shield. Because now we've ended up in a spot where the Prairie Dog is just brutal, you know? Well, isn't that interesting? Kind of doubt it's going to work out for us, but let's give it a try. Yeah, I just have removal for it. And we die. Yeah. Well, like I said, not the greatest deck ever. 2-3, 3-3 is probably the outcome you're looking for. We didn't get... You know, we have some nice cards, but definitely the 3 Outlaw Stitcher deck would have been better than, than what we ended up in. So, all right, that'll do it for this draft video. See you all in the next one.